Good morning,
Good afternoon.
good evening, wherever you happen to be on this amazing planet that we occupy.
I'm Ariel.
I'm Shya.
Welcome to being here.
That's right. That's the name of the podcast, Being Here. And most of the time, most of us are doing things and we forget to be here for our lives. So let's see if we can listen our way into the moment by hearing what people have to say. And when we talk about listening, we talk about hearing something newly rather than you think you already know this subject because we've talked about listening 900 times before.
Today's episode topic is solving the problem before it becomes one. I like the little quote that we put with this. It's fun.
Oh.
If you don't pay attention, you just may end up where you are headed.
That's funny.
I really see it. I've been working on a series of projects today, office projects, food projects, laundry projects. Those are the three major subsets. And I can see how I needed to keep relaxing into being here rather than trying to get things done.
Yes.
And when I try to get things done, I head myself towards stress. And when I relax into being here, it's a whole different possibility and a different experience of living.
Well, you also have different outcomes.
That is true.
Yeah, when you're striving to get things over with, you don't really catch the nuance of the moment because you're up ahead of yourself rather than back in the pilot seat of your life.
I like that. That's really nice.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's take our first guest.
Oh, please, let's.
Christina, welcome to being here. Please tell people where you are zooming in from.
Hello, this is Christina. I'm zooming in from Berlin in Germany.
Nice.
Thanks for
Welcome.
having me.
Thanks for being with us.
Great. So, when I read the topic of today's episode, I immediately thought about my work. And I had this picture about myself, or this thought about myself being caught up or dedicating my attention to a million wonderful details, but not really looking at any bigger picture anymore at all. And I have this uneasy feeling that I might be headed to a place that I might not enjoy being in terms of work.
Well, something in what you said I find difficult to get. So, first off, if you are involved in whatever you're doing with totality, in the next moment, if you're involved in that with totality, and the next moment, pretty soon you don't have any problems at all. You only create problems to solve problems.
Who knows? Maybe there is no problem there at all.
Maybe, but maybe you're creating a problem to avoid another problem or potential
or to avoid
moment.
something that is frightening potentially.
Yes.
Shya and I went on a recent fishing trip, and the type of fishing we're doing, the conditions were very challenging, as in the weather was not.
It was windy and
wavy, and it was really overcast. And this is particularly a type of fishing that works best in the sun, where you can see the fish are coming toward you at a distance in smooth water. It wasn't like that. So there's the going forward in my mind, potential concern of, can I do this? So if I have a concern about something out there, I can pick a fight over here, either in my with somebody in my environment or in my thoughts, where I pick on something as if it's not going well. Or for many people, what's out there is the potential of intimacy. So they create a lot of drama someplace else. So they're just way too tired in the evening.
Right.
And
Hmm.
way too tired in the morning. And way
way
too
too
tired in the
tired.
afternoon.
Right. Um, yeah.
I'm really surprised with you talking about millions of details or a
Hmm.
million details.
Hmm.
That seems like a at least a slight exaggeration. I'm sure there are many details to whatever you're, but there, if you complexify it that much, you're never going to actually see what you're doing.
Yeah, that's about the feeling I have about it. For example, I enjoy with great dedication plugging together the parts of the new router and the new modem and the glass fiber internet, and then I take a lot of time to answer to emails that are not directly related to my work, but important in a volunteering context for my professional association, which is indirectly linked with work. And I I like to do all these things, and I'm not sure whether at the moment I start complaining about not making the money to go to Costa Rica or to wherever I want, maybe there is a connection between what I have been focusing on in my work. And I keep saying, oh, well, but this is all important. And I do whatever comes up and I enjoy what I do. But I get the feeling that I'm also distracting myself, maybe from
What I'm finding so
following.
I'm finding it interesting. You are a professional translator, and I'm having a hard time following you. So I'm finding that interesting. See, I have a hard time
There's,
following you.
do you know this word obfuscate?
Yes.
Obfuscated is I feel like I'm in a cotton candy machine and you're swirling and swirling. There's the stick, but you're swirling cotton candy all around it so that I won't see the stick. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on with you, but I don't feel like we've even actually met you yet. I mean, I know you, so that's not what I mean. I mean as if you're talking around
Yeah, it's really
something.
hard to hold on to what you're saying. It's what's the word?
Amorphous,
Amorphous.
nebulous.
Those both of those words. Nebulous was the one I got first, but I was looking for amorphous. It's there's no. It's not concrete.
It reminds me of an amoeba, and if you or something, you touch it and it reforms itself all around where you're touching. So there's what would you like to talk about,
How's that?
Christina? Forget the topic. Forget working on yourself. What do you want to talk about? And looking down and nodding and things like that do not translate. You need to just be here.
Are you afraid that we're going to see something about you that you don't want us to see?
I think I would love you to see more.
Well, only if you're working on yourself. You see, what if
I
there's
definitely am.
right?
Okay,
So
that's
now we're
good.
starting to get a little concrete.
That was crisp. Like that one.
Yeah.
What what if there's absolutely nothing wrong with you? You know, they say don't fix what isn't broken.
It sounds great when you say that. Then why is it so hard to feel it, to do it, or to not do it, but experience it?
Well, maybe you're in the habit of protecting yourself. And when you come to a seminar, there are 50 or 60 other people. So you're not on the spot. And if you do share something there, you're in control of how it's going to come out. And here it appears as though you have to defend yourself.
See, you're doing it again. Can you, uh, for our listeners, we get to see the video.
Right.
Clearly, you can't. So when she's not saying anything, she's either nodding or smiling or looking, but there's a baffle between you and taking care of the people who are listening to this.
I see that. I see that. I just, I'm, I'm sort of in a feeling that I don't know how to express. That's why I've been silent. It's not about not wanting anyone to take part or to come in or to hear what I would say. I just don't know what that is that I'm trying to express.
What if the title of this show, this podcast, you've taken to work on yourself with? So for that, I apologize if we were a stimulus that you had that response to. What if you had no problems, Christina?
That seems so impossible.
Well, that's very interesting. See, for me, I have no problems. I may have circumstances show up that need attention, but none of it is a problem. It's only a problem if the things that show up take you off course if you're going somewhere. But what if you're not going anywhere? I have a question. Do you know somebody named Chris?
I do.
Good. Now, the moment before you met Chris, could you have imagined meeting him?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Life just presented Chris, and you went, yes, I want some of this.
Yes.
Yes. Well, maybe you don't have to work so hard. Maybe life presents you with everything you need in each moment.
That's so good to hear.
Well, it happens to
That
be.
is,
Go ahead.
it's comforting to hear that. I've I find myself putting such a lot of pressure on myself all the time.
Yes. And that's what we're talking about. You're trying to get it right. How can you get it right? You can just enjoy yourself.
It's a wonderful idea. I love that.
We're not going anywhere. We're not trying to get you somewhere.
I've been working on the calendar for 2026, and to use your vernacular, I could say there are a million details to be done. But what I've been finding myself captivated by is doing the bit that I'm doing while I'm doing it rather than worrying about the outcome. So, yes, our cat's in the background. It here, she's like agreeing. I can either worry about whether or not the calendar will be great next year, which is perhaps the big picture you're talking about, or I can do what I'm doing while I'm doing it and trust myself
Yeah.
and have fun doing it. If I have fun doing it, it's going to turn out a whole lot better than if I worry about whether or not it's going to be good.
Well, it's like editing as you write.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it difficult to get a good sentence because you're constantly judging the sentence as you're writing it and changing words, and rather than just saying what you have to say.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, Christina, but it would be okay for you to say your truth whatever anybody says about it doesn't matter. It's okay for you to have a truth. It's okay for you to have your experience of your life in the current moment rather than try to please everyone. See, I I think you're a very sweet person trying to prove you're a very sweet person.
Thank you. That's it's great to hear what you just said. I really love that. The the this you just I think I just heard you say that I'm sort of trying that I'm thinking about whether what I say is okay as I say it, and I really
Yes.
find myself doing that all the time
And you're a
in my work as an
translator.
interpreter in every other situation as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you don't have to work so hard.
Mm.
You know, there. I I think you underestimate yourself when you um, really self-express. When you step up and you just talk about things that are of interest to you.
Okay. I think you have an idea of who you are that is not as kind and nice as you think you need to be.
You mean
Hmm.
idea of herself is
An
that she's
idea of
not,
herself,
yeah.
right? So she's constantly trying to prove she's kind and nice, even though she's already kind and nice. I think you're fighting with
Hmm.
a
Yeah.
ghost from the past.
I absolutely see that.
I
Mm,
really don't know anybody who once upon a time was kind and nice. I think we all, if we're fortunate enough, morph into a kinder, gentler version of ourselves. But I'd be pretty willing to bet that anybody can remember times where they did things that were mean, cruel, ill-advised,
Or
particularly to our
yeah,
parents.
yeah. But I'm thinking more of a generational thing
Mm.
where the past of Germany is something you abhor.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. And so that I am not becomes that who you become. So what you resist, persist, grows stronger, dominates your life, doesn't allow you to discover who you are and be self-expressive in who you are because there's this decision that was made from very, very long time ago. I will not be like that. And then
Thank you. Yeah.
that becomes
Mm.
the radar
This
that
the second guessing mechanism.
that second
Hmm.
guesses your life.
Thank you very much for mentioning that. I really relate to that.
Good. Well, look, baby, you can be kind to yourself. We like you the way you are, not the way you think you need to be. You can breathe, it's allowed.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah. You see, you're afraid that we're going to see the way you think of yourself. And we see that,
So
but
we
we also
actually
see
see both.
you.
We see how you perceive yourself and we see you. And so does everybody else. And you have a lot of friends. So maybe what you think and how you are completely different.
I assume that that's definitely going to be the case. Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Well, I appreciate you. We appreciate you being with us today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks for
Thank you
being
so
here.
much for having me, and thanks for all these impressions and thoughts you've shared. Thank you.
Mm.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Now it's your turn. Let's hear what one of you listeners has to say about being here in the transformation community.
You have no idea the difference you make when you are being you.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shya's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
We have 3 bites of the apple, so to speak, next week. We have 3 2-hour Living Made Easy seminars. One is happening on Monday, another on Tuesday, and another on Saturday. You can check on the website, dial in your time zone, and see which seminars are right for you. Then we have some weekend seminars coming up. We have Creativity and Intuition, July 25th, 6th, and 7th. You intuitively feeling you should be there?
I am.
Okay, then.
So I'll be there.
So join us if you'd like.
And it's in person in New York City.
Transformational Time and Project Management is happening in September on the 20th.
And that's a virtual seminar.
27th, 28th, virtually.
You can join us through Zoom.
And then one more heading closer to Christina. We are doing 2 courses in Hamburg in the fall, October 23rd. It's a Thursday. We're doing Speak Up. And then Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, we are doing Practical Enlightenment. Those are the upcoming courses in addition to Costa Rica 2026. If you'd like to join us, you would be welcome. But the prerequisite is a weekend seminar with us.
Right.
So that's the scoop. You are invited. You can find out everything on
transformationmadeeasy.com.
All right, let's take our next guest.
Yes, Ingo.
Welcome to being here.
Yes, hello. It's really nice to be with you again in the podcast.
Nice. Tell
Yes.
people where you're zooming in from, Ingo.
Yeah, I'm zooming in from Bremen in Germany.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome.
You're also welcome. It's really nice to see you again.
It's really nice to see you too.
Mm.
Yes, and when I thought about the topic of today, solving a problem before it becomes one, I also first thought about my professional life.
Okay.
And then I said, no, it's not my problem. I have to solve problems of other people, not my problems.
Yes.
This was the second thought directly after that. And then I thought again, did you have something in your private life where you see that a problem is coming up? And in that case, I must say no.
Okay.
For example, on the Saturday, I have a competition again to make the photographer, and I have to prepare some things, which is normal.
Well, first of all, stop for a minute. Tell people what you do so that they can create a picture in their mind.
When I'm a semi-professional photographer, and I'm going to Western riding competitions and make of each single competition, of each single rider, photos of the competition.
Okay, good.
Sell them to the people if they want to have them. And for sure, you have to prepare things. And really, a few years ago, when I started this relationship with the photos, it was sometimes a problem for me to organize everything on time, to be there on time, and so on. And in the meantime, I know I have to prepare a lot of things, but I do it right at the right moment. When I have time, I'm not saying, now I have to fix a time to do it. It's just the feeling, now, now, at that moment I have time, I do it.
Yes.
And then it comes not up really a problem. because it's already solved then.
Yes.
It's really, really nice to think about it. Always when we look on the podcast, I always think about it and say, is it really a problem for you? Or is that topic something what is speaking to me? I said, yes, this is interesting. And in that case, really, I said, yes, solving a problem is really interesting. And the more I'm thinking about, I said, but I have no problems in my private life. And in my professional life, I have to solve problems from other people, not my own. So it's only my job.
I think when we were when we were putting together this topic, I recalled Shya talking about how when he was a lifeguard, he discovered the easiest way to be a lifeguard was not to let people get into the potential drowning situation.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could see where they were heading and they were heading towards an undertow or a strong current, you could blow a whistle and call them back in so they don't get into the situation of drowning at all. It's not very heroic. You see,
Yeah, you're right.
You don't get to jump off the lifeguard tower and run into the water and swim out and pull them in. But it's also, there are things by seeing where your boat is going, you don't have to go aground.
And in a day-to-day thing, if you're need to print, I don't know that you make prints of your photos, but if you did, if you see you're getting low on paper, you don't ignore the fact that you're getting low on paper. You order it in time so there's a non-disregarding of what is, so you take care of things in a timely manner.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So you know that Jutta and I, we have 2 houses, and from time to time in my Bremen house, so where I'm staying now, and for sure there are things to do, to clean up the rooms, to wash the clothes, to dry the clothes, and all these things. But it's really that I say, okay, I have to do it, but I do it when I have the feeling, yes, now I want to do it. Not I must do it, only I want to do it.
Well, with that idea in mind, if you do the things that you have to do as though you want to do them, you eliminate problems completely.
Yeah, this is really, really nice. You can remember when we met the last time in Hamburg, that I talking about my shirts that I have to iron from time to time, and that I have a lot of shirts, and for sure I wear every day a new shirt, and I know that I have to iron them, but it's not that I put pressure on me anymore. When I have 20 there to iron, yeah, it's 20, okay. And when it's 25, it's also okay. And when I have really the willingness and say, no, okay, now I want to iron my shirts, then I do it. And it's really easy to do it then. It's fast. You did not be stressed about the time you need for that. It's really, really good and really nice to be in that moment.
I like what you're saying, man. Now, if you could apply that to all the aspects of your life, you've got it made.
And I know some people are going, wow, he has 20 shirts, 25 shirts. He irons, so I think it's a really great.
But he doesn't all iron them all the same day.
I know, but I think it's a great strategy that you have enough shirts that you can wash enough shirts to wait until you're.
Yeah, you're right. This is also a strategy to have a lot of shirts so that you not become into pressure. But if you always ignore it, then for sure you will also then come on one day in the pressure to iron someone. But
That is
normally it's really every weekend when we are on a competition, Jutta and I, so we do nothing. We are on the competition. We did not hear any news from the world. It's really you're in your own balloon. You hear nothing from outside. This is really good to enjoy these times. And when we come back, then the normal day is there for sure. You hear some news and so on, but it's less stressful than in the past.
You know, Ingo, I stopped listening or watching the news about 6 or so months ago. So I don't listen to the news at all anymore because I discovered that if I listen to the news, I will upset myself with the news. And so I have a choice whether to be upset or to be in my life.
Yes, absolutely true.
And you're talking about that, but you're only talking about it for a weekend competition. I'm talking about it all the time.
Yeah, yes, you're right. So it would be good to have it really all the time.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
See, can you do anything about what's happening in the news?
No, I couldn't.
You couldn't. Or you can do one thing. You could upset yourself if you disagree.
Yes, and this is okay. From time to time, it's interesting to hear the news, what is going on in the world. But for sure, I'm knowing that I could do nothing about that.
That's right.
What happened in that case, really, and the good thing is also, and again, last Thursday we went to this weekend competition, and we had a traffic jam, which is normal on a Thursday before a weekend when you have a lot of free days in Germany. Everyone is traveling to somewhere.
Yes.
So it's absolutely normal. And I was working at that time. So we are traveling and I had some phone calls in the car. And for that reason, I drove a little bit slower. So only 80 kilometers per hour. So it was not so stressful because I was in my meetings. And at the end, we need a little bit longer than normal, but it was absolutely okay. And it was not stressful for me. We were there really on time. We could do everything what we want to do and enjoy the weekend. And it was really a great weekend again.
I like what you said about it's absolutely normal to have extra traffic when you have a 3 or 4 day holiday, when you have extra holiday days. And clearly you planned in advance for enough time to not have to stress yourself. Lots of people shave the edge off and hope it'll be okay.
Well, they don't just shave the edge off. They do extra things that get them late. You know, those last two things, you don't iron the shirt before you have to leave. Then you get there on time.
Yes, and also for the next weekend. So we came back on Monday evening.
Yes.
And we know we have to clean up the camper. We have to put things out of the camper. I have to put things in the camper for the next weekend. And today, Jutta and I, we had a phone call this morning. She said, the camper already is cleaned up. Everything is done. So I have put in fuel again on Monday evening and so on. So most of the things are already done. I only have to put from my car here in Bremen the things into the camper tomorrow evening. That's all. So it's really not stressful for me. I know I will drive on Friday to that competition. I will prepare everything there, and I'm quite sure that everything is going well. It will
Yeah.
be a good and nice weekend.
I love how you keep presenting this as this is normal. This is your normal.
Your normal is
Yeah.
not a lot of people's
A
normal.
lot of people
Yes, you're
know
right.
they have to do those things, but they're going to wait till the last minute.
See, if you have the idea that you don't like being told what to do, even by you, you will put things off. Well, they call it procrastination, but it really is an ornery streak that people have in not wanting to be told what to do.
Mhm.
Yes, you're right. And yeah, it's really it changed a little bit for me in the last 5, 6 years. I had to do some things what I did not like. So and now, especially when my grandfather was really old, he was living together with me in this house. Then I have to prepare all the things for him. Then the same thing when my mother was dying, I have to prepare everything. So I had to do a lot of things what you normally did not like. It's also, in the meantime, I say it's normal. We
Yes.
know everyone will die on one day. Also, I will die on one day. I did not know when. It is good that I did not know it. But I know that then someone has to do things. And
Yes.
to see all the things which are coming up as normal, as a normal life, make it easier, much easier.
Yes. If you don't resist the things you need to do, they get done easily.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to do them and you do them anyway, but still resent the fact that you have to, you'll always create problems.
Yeah. And this is really, really something what I learned not really, what happened in the last years, because I did not work on that. It just happened.
Yes. Well, that's the way life works. You didn't plan on meeting Uta.
Yes.
Uta.
Yeah.
You didn't plan on meeting her. Where did you meet? At a horse show?
Yes, we know us from a horse show. In the first year, she always bought photos from me, and then 2 years, 3 years ago, in the meantime, on the German championship, she was there, I was there, and we met there. And then she said, "Oh, he's nice." She said to herself, and then she needs more than 1 year to make me aware of it. And now, in September we had 2 years together, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then she came up and said, "Yeah, it would be nice to go to the evening seminar to you." Then we met first on video there, and I said, "Well, it's nice, and yes, I go to Hamburg with you, and now it's really nice to be there."
Yeah. Yeah, well, we really appreciate you. And I really appreciate you because Uda is showing up very beautiful. See, and if you were not kind to her, it would show. So I know that you're being kind and you're good fertile soil for her to be with.
Yes, and it's it's on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really on both sides. I really enjoy the time with her. All the competition we did, we had some good things. So most of the things are good. We had also had some bad things in the meantime. So, but also that is normal.
Yes.
That you are
Doesn't
not
always show up the
always
way you
on the
want.
same level. Yeah. And we know that we did not discuss about some specific topic because we are totally different on that. And we say, okay, we know that, and it's not really important, these topics, so we can avoid it to discuss about it. It's sometimes a good solution.
That's a good solution. Just leave it alone.
We have a couple of a married couple who are on very different ends of the political divide here in the United States, and it's such a non-issue for them. They just don't inflict their views on each
Yeah,
other and try and convince each other that they're wrong. It's a deeply rooted value system that they can, in a way, integrate and set aside at the same time in order to be with each other. And I
yeah.
really
It's
enjoy
also
it.
the political situation. So we are on the same side about our thoughts of the political situation all over the world. But when we discuss about it, it's really a topic which could stress us. And then we
Yes.
said, no, why we should discuss about it? We could not change it.
Well, you'll discuss about it if you want to avoid intimacy.
Yeah, but normally we want to have intimacy. So it's really important for us not to discuss about that. And it's really good that we did not. Sometimes we
Well,
just,
let me interrupt you for a second. We just came to the title of this show, Solving Problems Before It Becomes One. If you don't talk about politics, you don't create the problem.
Yes, you're right.
Or you go to bed. Right?
That's right.
Really right, yes. And this really, we only talk maybe once a month about a little bit about politics. So when we have the election in Germany, we discuss it a little bit. Then when we had the election in US, for sure, we talked a little bit about it. But we were on the same level and said, okay, we have the same meaning of that, so we can stop it here.
And you can't do anything about it.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, you can't do anything about it. It's just a fact.
No? Yeah,
And
that's
if you don't like it, you can just make yourself miserable with it, but that isn't going to change anything.
Yeah, it will not change, and at the end, the time will change it.
Yes, it'll change on its own.
Well, we do have a friend who is a political activist, and I've really enjoyed watching him set down, lobbying for things when he's not lobbying for things. Because to be upset in your mind and in your body does not ever help any situation. That doesn't make it resolve. You're just upset. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
So such a treat to be with you today.
Yeah, I'm so happy for both you and Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I'm also very happy with her. So was the right decision from both of us.
Yeah, sweet.
To come together. Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you for being with us.
Yes,
today.
thanks for joining us today.
Thank you that I could stay with you today. And thank you also for your thoughts and your feedback.
Great.
Well, if you enjoyed this conversation, you can certainly share it with your friends. You can subscribe to the podcast. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe to our newsletter. I've got that there's a word there. Subscribe. I can't say it fast, though. You can find any and all of our courses and the newsletter sign-up link on transformationmadeeasy.com. And next week's episode
is called The Brat Factor. And that's really interesting.
Another way to talk about transformation is having the ability to transcend your bratty nature. We'll be back next week.
So come on back.
And don't miss
being here.